We will get started on tonight's workshop meeting, it's February 26th. We have a pretty full agenda. I'm talking to the microphone.
Hard to hear.
So, yeah, it's going to hold the door. All right, first item on tonight's agenda is possibility of a record board. This was requested to put on after it's been a snowstorm. We did some research, and unfortunately, federal law has changed some years back, preempted our ability to form a record board in our city. So we simply can't. What we're currently doing is doing what we are doing, what we can do, and that's the rotation that's fairly infrequent. But we can't regulate what they charge.
Can we ask what they charge and not put them on our list if they're exorbitant?
We would have to, we would get very, very sticky quick. The chief does have the discretion if he thinks that they are predatory or aren't dependable. But frankly, we're cutting toes maybe once every 5 or 6 weeks, something like that.
Well, it really depends on the frequency of practice that require those or that sort of thing. So we certainly don't have as heavy a call as some. I think we have 5 or 6 records coming down. We just recently had 2 for the last couple of weeks. The call has to be added and then we're added. So we don't provide a ton of call volume for the record services anyway. I think my original discussion with the record board was protecting predatory living. Sometimes we have challenges where companies will go to private property and request a private property owner, i.e. an apartment complex or something of that nature. And then the company that we have no control over will come and tell them to charge, $400, $500, $600 or whatever. We just didn't have any way to control that, but apparently we don't. That was my concern. So we have had any issues like that in the city or
Okay. That's all there is to that, unfortunately. It's real clear once we start doing research that he recommended to that board. So next, moving on to the Christmas parade. Last week's commission meeting, the commission asked us to put together a committee. We started doing that. I would ask Christina and police delegates to. It's my understanding that Commissioner Sadler will be the representative from the commission. I've asked Jake Stone as a citizen to represent, and I was planning to ask one more citizens, so we have an odd number. I don't think getting any bigger than that would be effective. I'm afraid it would just kind of grind to a halt and not get anywhere.
Hey, can I ask a question? Since Commissioner Sadler was part of the conversation, can we kind of put that at the bottom today until she gets out of the way?
We can circle back. The
Okay.
park rules is also something that's
Okay.
That's kind of my thought on the parade is to see what the committee recommended, date, time, location, and then go from there.
Because I got some comments on this, what we should get.
So then with that, we'll move on to the sewer department track loader.
Yeah, so basically what I'm hoping to be able to do is purchase a rubber track loader for the sewer department. It's something that we have had to rent and borrow from Public Works quite often. And this particular unit will serve our needs very well. You're welcome.
Is this like the one you borrowed?
Yes, so this is one that we have actually demoed for a couple of days to use and see how well it would work. It easily dumps in the back of a standard tandem axle dump truck. It's the largest rubber track loader on the market. With it, you also can put rotary cutters on the front of it like you would like a bush hog or a tractor. You can put on the front of this to clear sewer easements with. They also make a 6-way dozer blade. So if we need to do some grading around the greenway more off-on season, so we don't have a lot of room for big dozer. This can essentially be a smaller dozer. So I talked to Wayne about it. And based on our capital outlay in sewer, what we had budgeted for the pump station and some other projects that due to project planning and the ARP funding and stuff, we had the money in the budget to purchase it with this year's funds, because that money, it's not gonna get spent because of timing. So my request is that we purchase it this year. It's available to purchase off of Sourcewell, which is a national pricing agency, so we get the best price available to us.
What's the cost of this?
So this, with the standard, smooth bucket, a tooth bucket, and the 6-way dozer blade, and a, extended warranty on it, which is 3 years, 3,000 hours of coverage, is just under 138,000. And comparatively, just a dozer in that price range would be substantially more than that.
How much does it cost to rent these?
So this specific size, they don't rent, they rent the one that's smaller than it. This unit has a operating weight of 16,000 pounds. The next biggest one that you can rent is about 12,000 pounds.
How much?
Cost wise,
Yeah,
it's 100, so just the unit for this is 109,000, and the purchase of 12,000 pound one is 106,000. So you're getting a lot more machine for only 3%.
Looking at the commute as well as those gravel hooks.
So we have one, for our standard size skid steer, that all standard size skid steer estimates will work on.
Look at him.
What's the life cycle on this?
Depends on how much you use it, you know, I would say this machine will easily be able to get 8 to 10 years out of it, no problem. Out in the industry, working them, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, you get about 5 or 6 year lifespan into where basic. It really depends on how the business is set up. They run a certain lifespan, appreciate out, all that. We don't appreciate out stuff like this. So I would say our useful lifespan would be at least 8 to 10 years, which is what we typically run our company.
This is coming out of the sewer fund.
Correct. This is coming out of sewer fund. This is not affecting any kind of tax revenue.
Any more feedback? Moving on then to the next item, medical transportation for elderly citizens. So reached out to the coalition and found that Carter has a program called Caravan, and Red Bank's been using it pretty successfully. They implemented it on a 3-year grant, a year and a half into it, and are expecting to continue it after that. I reached out to their point of contact there, Charles Frazier, trying to get details. I don't have those yet. But once I get those, I'll share them with you if the grant is still available. If not, the expenses are, what is covered, et cetera. My basic understanding is that riders do have a copay they pay. What was implied from the briefing I had was that it's insurance related, Medicare, Medicaid, et cetera. So I don't know what the magnitude of those are for a typical rider yet or anything like that. That's what I'm investigating now is Caravan through the car.
Do they have any literature that you can get for us?
I'm waiting on that literature. Red Bank sent me their last month's rider log, how many people used it, and that sort of thing. But it didn't really-
So who all can use this? Is it low income or anybody?
But again, I'm waiting to get that information. What I'm expecting it to say is that it is anybody, whether their copay is going to be dependent upon. So someone like Medicaid probably uses it no cost, whereas private insurance, you can have $10 copay or something like that. But I'll share all that information once I get it. That's currently the only program that I could find in Hamilton County that's meeting that need.
I know several years ago they had one, because I used them for a great deal for jail. And, to get to doctors and stuff, and I couldn't get off the take them. And his insurance, because he had disability insurance at the time, it paid 100%. If you would take him to Nashville, to the where he but then they had a grant, but then for some reason, they were appointed with Erlanger, and they discontinued the usage, but it was ALEXXalien.
Like Sim Brothers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they carried it, then they lost the contract or something, whatever. They stopped, well, the whole place stopped using, providing services, so.
Because
I
I also think there's somebody that in Helmond County does low-income people, part of the government plan. I'd like to find out who that is, because we do have people out there that say.
Could you not check the Department of, CPACs for adults and see what they have, because they do for, I know there's somebody that's charging lots,
I'll reach out to the health department,
yeah.
let them know in the right direction as well.
Because it could be a younger person who is family is on, low income and they've got chronic conditions or they're, handicapped or need to get to the doctor, so.
I'll reach out and look and get a more complete picture and present to you.
I don't know if it is, my cousin works for someone, but I don't know if it is for a particular positions in her medical office, or if it's whatever, but they provide him with a car, and he goes and picks up people, takes to appointments, and then takes them back home and so forth. But I don't know what organization it is that he works for. I thought it was something outside of a medical facility.
That's what I
I'll
was
call him and ask
You
him.
don't know.
And family services for adults, they would do that.
That may be who he is.
Get a partnership.
Yeah. And,
He's retired, he just does this on the side.
So we'll circle back to that with some information. The city park rules, I didn't receive the markups to know what the specific questions were. We do need to expand some language into the park to exclude areas that are under formal lease, and areas like commons that are leased to one, so it sets their own rules. I need to get a consensus from the commission on firearms in the playgrounds. They cannot be prohibited on Greenway. Right now, best practice from the regulations we looked at prohibited firearms in playgrounds. I know there's some conversation about that amongst the commission, so where do y'all fall?
So I believe in guns. I believe people should personally carry concealed, not open. I know the law allows them to do that, but I honestly feel like we should allow it on the Greenway. If that's,
licensed, people that have
Well, it's allowed on Greenway, really, just in the playgrounds.
like, okay, sorry, I thought you said Greenway.
The Greenway is allowed, due to alternative transportation, this is different than
So the problem is most people who believe in carrying guns, if they leave them in their car, we know what happens. And Chief, he's heard stories, I'm sure that he can talk to you what's happening in our cars, sometimes people leave them unlocked and they shouldn't, but they do, and the guns get mysteriously walked away. I personally feel like we should. Should.
Yeah, I would concur with that.
I don't care.
Well, then we'll revise number 8 to just speak to fireworks. I do think we need to prohibit.
Is this the park still?
Yes,
I've got some comments.
okay.
I just think that as far as guns are concerned, they should be licensed.
Yeah.
I like
Yes.
license.
Which would fall under state law. If we did not prohibit them, then the carrying would be under state law.
So, I agree, because that was my first thing, is to add language, that these rules do not apply to the town. We need that in there. Partial to any city-owned or leased parks. I think that, again, I want to make sure that we have common excluded from that. And then dog leash, number F. I don't care if it's retractable or not.
I've had lots and lots of poor experiences, but dogs getting too much steam on or retractable and getting snatched out.
But then on the back page, we don't say anything about retractable leash.
We can specify on which page.
We'll see.
We specify
C on the third page.
maximum of 6 foot length.
Yeah, it doesn't say expandable or not. I mean, to me,
Look, most of the expendables go to 20 feet.
yeah, but you can lock it. I mean,
We use that on scale.
I don't think it should be non expandable.
I've had several really poor situations that really end up in bad places because people cannot control their animal on that fixation. It's first step in any dog handling is that responsible owner does not use an expanding leash. I feel very.
We're talking about these little, maybe dachshunds and stuff like
I have
that.
100% come over up on the only thing like on extension.
I'm just talking about,
I'm talking from personal experience in this. This
so,
is,
but you can't just look at yourself. I mean, you have to look at how. How many dog bites have we had, Chief, on the green? I know one.
None that I can recently recall, really.
I would be uncomfortable with them not being on leash.
Yeah.
You can't control any.
But this is, what I'm talking about is, most people have, today, society has a dog leash that expands. You hold it in your
Yeah,
hand.
but then can't you lock it?
You can lock it, yeah. And I don't think you should specify, I mean, because people have to go buy one, and most ones I see are about 4 foot long.
4 to 6 feet.
most of it's 4 to 6. The standards are 3, 4, and 6 for non-expanding.
I think they do that because they can adjust the release when you have a larger dog that needs to have a little bit more extra room to get where they need to go. I have my shots, you know, I had 8, I think about 8 or 2 that I started walking. But when I saw people coming up, I immediately pulled aside, pulled it up. I wasn't so much concerned about my dog biting as I was the other people retaliating something of you because of his size. You know, so it works both ways, you know.
For other dogs to be dog aggressive.
I just think they.
So we had a lady on the greenway that was walking somebody's dog, a pit bull. And the dog was too big for her, so she never should have taken it out to the greenway where the dog is. I don't know about your specific one, but in that case, that dog should never went to that person.
I'm not arguing that. I had 2 instances on the Greenway in the last 4 years. One was with a standard poodle, same thing, too much steam, it was a young dog, the owner couldn't control it, snatched it out of her hand. The other was a 110-pound long-haired white dog, that was like the same situation.
Well, you still can control it with a leash, expanded leash.
If they had been short and held, I don't think they would have.
Yes. But I mean, as long as you have it 6 foot length, it's a max. And who's going to control
Right, well,
it? That's, I mean, you're making rules that, who's going to enforce it? I mean, really?
it's a liability. When those situations occur, the person who didn't follow the rules is liable.
Whether it's a foot leash, a foot long, 2 feet, 5 feet, 20 feet, they will be accountable. I mean, I think it's one of those things that should not be.
Sometimes we come down to where you're trusting the owner to know their dog, when it comes on like when I bought mine, and if I saw like I pull a leash in, or I always say I'm coming around, you know, keep, if I saw the bigger dog was being aggressive, you know, keep it that way.
So number 8, I don't know how we're gonna keep saying excluding the commons, because this says no alcoholic beverages of any kind.
My suggestion was to expand the park definition to simply say excluding waste areas. So then-
And I don't know if we need to footnote this somehow, so we refer them back to that, so there's,
I think we just started at the beginning, it says, least areas excluded from this, then none of it was applied.
I mean, it's like this, they have events and things that are governed, they're like that one for the weddings and things like that. So they need to be able to do that, if they're dropping one of them.
The intention of the rules was for our playgrounds agreements, it was not to affect the commons.
But under this, it would have affected.
Yeah, we need to explain that one definition.
So the other one is smoking. I don't smoke, never have smoked. Smoking and use of tobacco products. Use of vape. Prohibited on grounds or public park, playgrounds, or any public property that is accessible to you. You know,
That was an agreement we had with the,
Governor's of the city act, and
Yeah.
there, we caught,
that
that
there
was
would
in
be a
effect now.
smoke-free park in
Smoke-free.
Greenwood.
but do we have the vape thing in there?
Yes. The state law came around later, and verified, otherwise we would have been able to control.
This is part of that.
That's a carryover from what the current is.
So if I walk down to Keystone County ball field in our city, and they're smoking, I'm gonna come down there and take a shot. I just, huh?
This is the county,
It's in the city of Collinsville.
it's not our fault.
We've done a lot of it.
We do that at the kindness of our heart.
But it's not our fault. We have no control of the city.
It's not something we control.
All right, overnight camping is prohibited in the city parks.
Currently,
So we need to include this for the commons, because they have campouts inside the commons.
expanding that one definition, everything on.
If I don't say it, not recorded, so we need to make sure it's clear.
How's that going to be for like when they have events like the Cherokee, powwow and all that, as long as they bring their gear somewhere.
None of these rules, when we expand the definition of park, will have anything to do with it. It will be completely excluded while it's leased to CPF. The commission would have to break the lease with CPF and
Where's that? Okay, on the next one, 2403, only class 1 and E2 bikes. What's considered a class 1 bike?
And this was the big round robin we got into under state law, where class 1 and class 2 under state law are permitted on agreements, class 3 are not.
Correct.
It's the difference.
Class 3 goes up to 28 miles per hour. Well, class 1 and 2 are 20 miles per hour or less.
Electric or pedal?
Electric.
So you're saying no bikes on the greenway?
No,
Electric bikes.
Go electric.
that was, we had some complaints from citizens from close calls with electric bicycles. When we did research.
So it is class 1 and 2 is allowed.
By state law.
I hope people know what to do, so you will be chasing them down, chief.
I'll need an ordinance that already does ordinance.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. How do we enforce all this stuff? I've already asked it once, Mayor, but.
So some are going to be, it's gonna be when we see it occurring. Or when.
But he doesn't have any authority to do anything.
Not too bad. This is an ordinance, not about $50 fine.
Can you still do it?
If it's listed in the ordinance that it's enforceable by a city ordinance violation fine of up to $50, yes, but that'll have to be in the ordinance somewhere. Our only other option would be to ask them to cease and desist whatever they were doing and remove them from the greenway if they refuse, then it would be more of a trespassing because they're refusing to leave at that point. But as far as issuing citations or something, there would have to be an ordinance that encompasses this as a city ordinance violation. That if they violate these rules, it results in a city ordinance violation, which would result in a citation and fine up to $50.
So if we're gonna do this, we gotta have an ordinance, we're gonna do anything.
That's what it says.
So, all right, so no children under the age of 12 are permitted inside the park.
Where we at?
C at the very bottom.
In the law.
Huh?
And that's the dog park.
So if I'm there with my 11-year-old walking my dog,
You want to set out no supervision?
I would say without the
Yeah.
parental supervision.
yeah, but it doesn't say that. So, that's the whole point.
So it's.
And you're gonna start looking for vaccines on dogs?
Pardon?
I'm just picking on the chief today, it's his day.
I think that falls on, if something happens with the dog, and you check and ask for the up-to-date vaccination shots, that's how they usually do it. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm just gonna say, yeah, and I'm vaccinated, haven't had it in years.
but we gotta, then she's not gonna be able to make it.
Okay.
All right, so you'll change this unless it comes. Must be,
Yeah, without.
Yeah. It's currently signed as no one under the age of 12, period, but like I take my son there because I'm not gonna make him stand outside the fence. Now, if
See,
there's a dog there, then he's gonna stay outside.
That's the thing, is not all dogs are child friendly. And so we don't take our children to.
we understand that, I mean, we understand that because they chase this guy here.
But we have that specifically for the dogs, and so, you know, these are gone through by
We're
looking
doing
at
this
those
$50 for your retroactive.
They kept putting license on the
So
child.
the intent is to post these at each of these respective parks.
Correct, when having a fact of an ordinance that when a bad actor, when we get complaints about a bad actor currently, then the police department can go out there and actually have something that is enforceable other than a sign that is not backed up by ordinance. Right? So again, most of these came from other parks or existing signs right now that say no children in the club. No, but we can expand it without adult supervision.
Yeah.
Well, I made a comment myself, and note about, I'll wait for this to come up in commission meeting. I'll have everybody read it.
Can you send it to me so that I can get it?
No, because y'all spring stuff on us all the time. I mean, you ask us to approve stuff and we don't get it until the day of the meeting. Well, now we do a little earlier.
This is a previous workshop. I received 0.
I'll bring this one.
Are there any other comments?
He's feeling cantankerous.
I can tell. I thought after missing that flag, we had.
So,
You'd rather be-
I think, I don't know, there are certain insurance standards about aggressive dogs, the definition of it. I don't want us to get to that part because I raised 2 Dobermans, and they were the friendliest thing. We had a child that was afraid of dogs. Next thing I know, he's laying all over the dogs because they're so friendly.
We absolutely, that's one of the homes aggressive breeds. We're not pushing to have any breed-based definitions, simply aggressive behavior. And we intentionally did not specify whether that's related towards animals or people, simply aggressive behavior.
Because those chihuahuas can be pretty dangerous. I'm just telling you.
They'll watch it. And sure, I've had chihuahuas. Great Danes and everything else, it's the owner how they raise them.
Cats too.
I have to-
So there was somebody fishing down the pond today.
Yes.
I don't know from dogs.
Hmm?
I like see them down there ever since you cleaned it out. Yeah.
Well,
It's actually been very popular.
they cannot swim in it, they can fish.
Right.
That's
So is that there for them to get to fish and take the what they catch on? I wouldn't punish it. I know they breed, but still.
We're looking at, partnering with Wildlife Commission, Task Force, and
Okay.
we paid the first round.
And I'm sure people will bring them down, that's fishing.
There's already people that said that as soon as they get an order put in there and drop off 50 around, just stop.
Oh, that would be nice. And not easy.
Depends on the fish they present.
Just right.
No.
That's all I have.
Oh, yeah. So we'll make these, revisions, I'll ask Commissioner Sadler, and hers, and we'll incorporate any of those that's online in this new session. So from there, we will circle back to the phrase, as Commissioner Sadler's recommendation. Vice Mayor has comments.
I do. So let me find my little books here. So I think we need to, and I told you this, I'll give you a heads up on it. historically, when we have little projects like the parade and stuff, the commission used to select who was like, on it wasn't handpicked by the city manager or anybody. So I'll use like the Parks and Rec board, sometimes we provide it for library.
It was called by the city manager originally and the police chief. And, I was on it, and Bill Garber was on it, and, the police chief or his representative, and Parks and Rec person, that was before you even had Parks and Rec. And, Public Works, and two community people, and that was the makeup of it.
And that was the feedback last Monday, and that's what we were doing.
And we met together and had a discussion, and then if there were issues, we would go back to whoever we represented and brought information back to the group. And, it went from there.
And my whole thing is, I wish the commission was asked who they like to see, because Jake Stone is not my first choice for this.
Who would you like to see?
Well, honestly, I would have recommended Johnny Hoskins,
Yeah, Sean.
just because he is using our greenways, and he's using our parks, he's, you know,
I asked Sean for those.
I think that's the type of feedback.
I'm gonna
I
ask
mean,
Sean.
we have a vested interest for,
I thought with Jake, with his experience with Bright Brothers and traffic control and his logistical experience, that he would be.
I just don't want him to get so locked into engineering and just do that, and he got something wrong. I'm not saying he won't, but
He's not a design engineer, so that was the thought, and being a project manager.
I just want him to, so. I think we just need to have some input on who's like.
That's fine. I just think that if you start getting a large group, you're
I
not gonna get
agree.
anything done.
I think five
You need
is.
a workable, small
I was
group.
behind.
So if the commission would like, you ask Johnny Hobson rather than someone else.
Yeah, I think Johnny would be.
It's no problem, I'll ask him.
So you're looking at
He
Christine,
ran for commission.
Huh?
He ran for commission.
Christina, police department representative,
Oh, okay.
okay, you got Tanya as the commissioner representative,
I ask Commissioner Jake Stone as a citizen, and I'll ask Johnny. I'll
okay.
expect him to.
Oh, okay. I didn't think it was-
Because actually, the commissioner's not considered that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not considered as a Christina. Eric.
Eric's, no, I asked Parks and Rec instead of public works.
Christina, okay, don't mark you up there.
And it was when Parks and Rec was organized, then Ted turned the parade over to them to chair it.
Completely, you know, you said we're going back a little further, which is not the way it was done when we were city manager.
That was the hope in when the city read it the first time before COVID.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time that we actually.
That's the only time the city's ever done it.
Yeah.
Historically, it was on campus for, 40 years, and then it was, headed up, Steve and the Goodwalk, when we ran it once, and then it hasn't been run since. So this will be our second.
So, the other thing about the parade, like, I'm note here, is I'm still a believer it gets on this side of the city. And I hope they really look at this and see how we can make that happen.
I'm staying off of it, because that's my thoughts.
Just lay it out there, you guys just lay it out there. I'm gonna do it.
I would like for it to stay over on this side too.
I think they're gonna look at it, my gut tells me they're going to run into all the logistical nightmares that we've run into this staff, talked about this for multiple years. Frankly, we have not found a way that wasn't just abhorrently unsafe yet, without with floods in the road and deal with population, 100-foot basketball, et cetera. We've not done what we do.
So let's move the Fourth of July back over across the mountain. You do the same thing, you shut down Little Denver Parkway. I mean,
One day a year,
what's over time, we're talking about 3 hours on a Saturday.
we're only on stage on Saturday.
Well, I gave a lot of comments back a while ago that y'all thought I was crazy.
Yes.
So if you do it on Saturday, you could start at, Blue Planet up here.
Cannot,
Wow.
they said no.
Okay. I didn't know that, so,
Yeah, they told me no on, that they will be using that facility and start up and, that
but they don't work on Saturday.
they don't work on Saturday, so that would be enough. And they are very strongly against closing on Sunday.
I'm not asking for it.
Right, I'm just saying we ran on,
So I think it's,
They're against closing absent pilots, and that's what you're saying.
the impact of this is significant.
and so it's Fourth of July, unless it's Saturday. I mean, they run,
So we actually don't close it, we detour them.
exactly.
Right. So to close the road, we would have to close it for involving swinger. So it would not be a hard closure, it would not be a detour route.
Correct.
So it's not the same, Fourth of July and the parade would not be the same, it's a hard closure. No one goes down the levee, so it's everyone either goes to East Brainerd Road or or Lee Highway. So, and then the highway are then trapped, then have to come down Edmond and come in the back way. So it's, Fourth of July is technically not a closure as much as a detour. For the parade, you can't have anything come past the lake, so it is a hard closure.
Except
There's
for,
a difference between Fourth of July and the parade.
except for the pizza delivery, but so it's still running during the middle of the parade.
As the parade, Fourth of July. So, I mean, it's just, there's risk no matter what you do. I mean,
Nice.
those,
You go so strong, having one on this side of the city.
because this is the central part of the community, right here. This is the heart, this is where we have everything. It helps our businesses, it helps
The
the
parade
revenue.
will not help our businesses.
You know,
Feedback that they gave us when we did it before was that hurt our business.
you gotta open up that box a little bit.
I'm just giving you straightforward answers.
I mean, I'm here to talk about this, and, I mean,
I'm trying to understand where you're going.
I just think that this part of the commons, the playgrounds, Little Debbie Park, it offers so much versus on the other side. And we have to do it,
And I agree, it offers a lot, except for safety or logistics.
well, you might as well shut down Fourth of July now, because it's not safe to me.
Again, that's the key. But
Same thing, though, I mean, McKee tried to get away from it and plow into the,
We shut down absent pipe with hard barricades, and if there's absolutely no traffic flowing through that section, right, and we need to everybody around it. So if we decided to go with the Christmas parade route, we would, for safety reasons, for everybody, we would need to shut down absent pipe for extra period of time, whether that be an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. We would have to do that hard closure and then have to route everybody around that section of road, which would eventually lead to the shutting down of Little Debbie and Access Pipe, which obviously is a major intersection. So, when we talk about several options as far as starting and staging on Access Pipe, but, say we move to Lafayette, because I've heard that problem as well. I mean, to effectively keep, you've got to shut down traffic both directions from Lafayette to Little Debbie, and then once you start getting close to Little Debbie, you gotta shut that down to get the swingers.
so when we had the parade before, did we shut down a little bit of Parkway?
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay, so we did it,
because it started on Jack Hay.
yeah, so we did it,
yes, but we also need to have as many apartment complexes and businesses.
but we shut down, Action Park as well.
But now the last one that we did, we stayed where we began at the golf field over here.
Well, that was my other option, is start, have everybody out of the ball field, they can come in and,
Because there wasn't around space on Jack Hay.
I just want people to be open-minded. I knew this was a hard no from a couple of people, but
And the committee will have to look at it and come up with some ideas. I just want to be very, very clear that as staff, we looked at this in depth and have not found a way to make it.
so I'll give you for example, Exxon will be closed, they're not open on Saturday or Sunday. The restaurants are open, people may want to walk over there and get something because we're not gonna have food trucks here. And I see the parade 2 hours, maybe, 2.5 hours. And
45 minutes of clear.
so, I mean, I don't know how big it's gonna be, but
And I think we need to tie it into what we're doing at the Commons. Because if we're doing a festivity there, then
Tree lighting.
if we were doing it right, I think it would be an actual time, so we could have a bigger crowd. Which means that we would have, if we've got to do it on a Saturday, we'd have to move that event to a Saturday night event.
You have to look at that too. We're gonna get a lot of feedback from the community on that. We voted for this.
I don't think that, so I'm not trying to offend anybody, because I'm not sadness. I don't think we're Advent's community. And it hasn't been Advent's mainly for many, many years.
I will agree that the community has definitely changed. I do think there needs to be sensitive to a large community.
I think the non-Adventists is a much larger percentage.
Probably.
So, I mean, so you're going to offend everybody else to kind of keep up with the,
I'm trying not to offend anybody.
I know, but that's kind of what you said, I mean.
Don't be a politician, now, come on.
And I'm just, I mean, my family's Adventist, I'm Baptist, but still, we get along and we do things and we enjoy life, and I think that you're gonna have people that won't come in.
I would prefer a Saturday event.
I think let the committee look at it, figure it out.
It'd have to be in the evening, like on the, you know, have like, you're dealing with the lights and things like that, for it to be very, I mean, I love Christmas lights, you know, things. Then it's when the sun goes down, and the Adventists, you know, it's from sun up to sundown, so they can not interfere with the religious getting together and stuff afterwards, you know, and I'm a Christian, for years I've worked around, you know, and respected the community in which I lived in, but it is strong, it's diverse. So I think going from, even if we did the lights at night or Saturday, I think it's great, or if we kept it Sunday afternoon, because that's what's traditionally what everybody's done. I don't know if, how that's going to kind of take a survey, because we have accumulated more population, but there's not as many Adventists that ran, and I think we have to think, and we have to separate church and state. Okay. So if maybe taking a survey to see which we prefer, or what I think, ask some people, which would they prefer, Saturday evening or Sunday, that gives them some input into it, makes them feel a little bit of ownership.
And I honestly think, I agree with you, tie in to the tree lighting almost. But a lot of these kids are not gonna come out at night for tree lighting. I think, personally.
I would think it is beyond that. Cleveland, the city of Cleveland has theirs at night every year. And those streets are crowded with kids.
And one,
It's a school night.
one idea that I really liked was tying into Southern Tree Lighting on Tuesday night and running the parade at 9 a.m. Very, very similar to what Rosemary Beach does, what Cleveland does, et cetera.
Because if you had it at night, the sun goes down very early. And McKees are not gonna be running trucks out that late at night, likely. And it
But
would
then they start running trucks Saturday night at between midnight and 3 a.m.
And on Sundays, they don't until Sunday night, because they have people's off, right? Or Saturday.
They fire back up Saturday night, and they're outbound between midnight and 3 a.m. on Saturday night, and then by afternoon, they're inbound.
They were running at 8:30 Saturday night this week.
It wouldn't
Got one right up next to my friend of mine that drives.
But I mean, even the population here has probably changed to more like 80% or non-Adventist in the community, I'm sure 75% now. And if you wanted to have it on a Saturday, if you had it at starting at, late afternoon, then there'd be a lot of options for people who did not want to attend one on Saturday morning or afternoon.
And the only reason I say that, we're gonna try to tie it into the Commons. I do know that they're filling up fast. I talked to Dave right before here, said, hey, what's your schedule look like? He said, honestly, if you don't give me a date, but he wanted it today. He said, they're gonna be gone. He said, November 30th is basically the date that he recommends based on calendar. So that being said,
And I do know that there's Easter, a certain day and time that would conflict, like we always do the first Sunday. Those are moved around. So we're kind of getting limited on when we can choose a proper time that would benefit for not competing with the other cities.
I'll reach out to Johnny tomorrow, see if we can firm up the committee, and then ask Commissioner Shadow to run a point on getting everyone together, nailing down the date, time, and location. The rest of it, we can fill in afterwards with that.
I still think we need to look at getting around throwing candy. I think that's a break. I mean,
That's not how modern plates are done. You walk on the edge and hand out candy. That's the insurance liability, you run the floats in the middle.
other cities did it.
I noticed East Ridge and Saudi Daisy had someone walking along closer to where the children were and handing out the candy and little daddies and so forth.
That's what I would,
And,
that's right. That's what.
That's how
that
it's
I
done
think
currently.
would be workable with it, with their insurance.
That's absolutely fine. The days of Pastor Herman on the back of the fire truck slinging candy to us.
It's dangerous, it's just, there's trash everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it worked pretty well the last time that we did, because I got my steps in, for sure. Because I just went up to people and gave out to kids and told them I just look like, go back and getting it. And it seemed like everybody got it in a rush.
So and also I did mention, I am opposed to having live animals.
I agree with you.
I think they need to consider that, that's, you know. I think that's all I have for break.
You sure?
I could need some more.
I like the elephant out there.
But I think if we logistically look
Miniature
at it,
eggs.
there's ways to make it happen here.
I would love to see it. How they can find the savings, nothing without a reader. But,
I think
but
that's
they
what we
don't,
make.
is their key task.
What about, I mean, I understand the animals, big horses, I mean, I love them, everything, big things, but what about if you have like, I know in our church, we do different things, we have miniature animals. We do a clean, you know, when we have like, different, activities for the kids, so we do the Halloween. We have live animals, different, like we have baby donkeys, and I don't know, miniature.
Very much, you know.
But they still poop on the street.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying,
It not really been effective, and there's always risk in that environment of the animals reacting to it.
I mean-
Over the last mayor, the
I'm
animals.
more concerned about the animals than the children in that aspect, because, like you said, I don't think how to act. We've been very close to agency animals for several years now, and they're fine, but they are close to us.
So whoever's had this at all, share with Commissioner Sadler, one other thought on logistics. I'm not an engineer, so don't look at me like that. You could have, I know there's gonna be people walking in, right? There, I don't know if they'll have a band or somebody doing it. And for those people, they can just kind of peel off. And if the other things are floats or cars, because we have a lot of people in cars, wagons, and a lot of politicians that used to do that all the time. Different car clubs. It wouldn't, if we had it coming out of the ball field onto Little Debbie up to Absent Pike, you could then go down Absent Pike on one side of the road, make a U-turn, come back up Absent Pike, out swing your, and the employees who are, or the people who are walking, they can just disperse, and the other people in the cars, they can drive to home or wherever they wanted to go, park.
Lost them in the user.
Hmm?
Lost them in the user.
Well, so you come out of the Little Debbie Parkway on Absent Pike, you come down Pizza Domino's side, because people can get both sides of the road, make a U-turn right, at the end of that spot where water go, come back up, and then go out Swinger. Maybe some of the people go up to, the church and park up there.
If they're crossing their back, their leaves gonna cross through the little parade house, and your tail is gonna be still coming out of the ball field, and you're turning around, obviously.
Yeah, but if they went to the wrong side of the road, you got the 5-lane road.
Yeah, but you got those, you got
Right,
lots
then
of
you're having
things.
to cross, if you're gonna turn left at the red light, you're then gonna be riding through your own parade.
Well, not turn, but, or it was
Instead of going
good.
down the swinger after you turn.
Why don't we let the committee,
I'm just throwing things I have everybody's attention on, so. Okay.
Okay.
Did you want to,
Huh?
did you want to be on the committee?
No,
So I've got another idea. If we started on Leland, we take the first left and then turn on towards Scythia Way and then straight across Swinger, then we avoid all the,
you're saying the road,
You're putting the road out to the residential area?
yeah, we
Yeah,
don't,
would you like to give insight?
I would have my chairs out and I would watch it. I'm not sure how my other neighbors would feel.
yeah, that's
The-
the dimension of.
The concern there would be is by closing the only way is in and out, you stranded that portion of the road.
You don't have much staging area, you would probably only be able to stage 50 cars.
And we do need ambulances sometimes in our neighborhood. Just saying.
I think there's a solution that exists
They can get through.
on this side of town.
Have they ever done one?
I mean, we have troubles getting in and out of our neighborhood these days.
Driving around them, but I never had problems. I'm just saying.
so Chief, you were saying?
I think there is a solution that exists for this side of town that I think could be looked at by the board. I think there's pros and cons to both sides of town. But I think there's a potential solution for this side of town. It would require shutting down Little Debbie Parkway and Absent Pike and a portion of Absent Pike briefly for a couple of hours. But I think you could manage it traffic wise and safety wise, okay, but it's gonna be, it would be a much shorter route than we've had in years past.
See, I like that. Initially, he was no.
Well, originally I was a no, because we were talking about having traffic flow on one side of the E-way.
I know.
I think if you look at the starting point at the park, and you look at your ending point or your turnaround point at the church, assuming the church is fine with us doing that, right? Then you can effectively, you have to shut down Little Debbie and Absent Pike, obviously, and you have to shut down Absent Pike at least right before Swinger. You see what I'm saying? But you wouldn't be messing with your apartment complexes. You wouldn't be messing with your businesses too much. It would be a shorter route, but I think it would be logistically much better than shutting down all of Little Debbie or trying to shut down a huge section of Absent Pike. And you'd only be looking at a very short window of road closures, but you're leaving plenty of outs for your key traffic, you're leaving plenty of routes for other people who get to move outside of town. But that would be, just speaking off the cuff, as we're talking about all this, to me, that would be probably the route I would recommend, and I want to stand by if we're gonna have it on this side of town. There's a lot of roads, but they're here on both sides, but I think that would be much more manageable than trying to have a really long route down Athens.
And I would say this first year, I don't know if I put in my note to you that I like to see it limited to like 50 cars, vendors, floats or whatever. So it's not huge, so we get a feel for it, we just work for us and it's not a disaster.
Yeah, we definitely could not, for that route size.
Yeah.
It can definitely not be like years past where we started on deck 8, and as the parade was ending at the middle school, we still had people lined up on deck 8.
So if we had people on ground before that, then we could, get them, to, sign up first.
Don't go fast.
I'm gonna drive it for them.
Which one?
I know.
If you use the
You
church.
take the good, it's Orlando.
That's very true. I mean, again, I'm just talking about the most feasible, safest route, easiest for us to control manpower wise, safety wise. That would be our best, safest and best, most manageable route, but to your point, if it's on a Saturday, then that might work out.
I don't know what they happen in the evening, but it might be open in the evening.
But yes, that's true.
The suggestion I made earlier, when I were talking about it, is that makes the exact same route instead of not in the church. You're going to have the commons, people that want to go into the commons, then go to the commons, then that don't, go down, turn left or four-way. The only extra requirement is you have to have an officer directing traffic out the end of that side of the road to get people out. But
We would do that anyway, just like we do the fireworks.
I really like the idea of a Saturday event at the Commons, and let's feed the crowd to the Commons. So that the parade ends there, and then we begin other festivities.
That's Saturday.
All Saturdays, commons are rented with markets.
So every Saturday's full.
In the fall.
The 30th wasn't.
That's the one David gave you,
Mhm.
David gave November 30th.
Well, we'll take it away, y'all can look at that. I like that, both of you, they're back on my good list, so.
So we'll throw that to the committee.
I think that's, I like what the mayor said too, and me,
What you're looking at me for?
I was gonna say, I think if, we continue to support me on this, I think it'd be great, the Commons, Christmas,
I think parents are much more apt to get their kids out on a Saturday night than a Sunday night for Monday morning school. I think we'd have a better crowd.
yeah, only the hard part's going to be is that's also Thanksgiving. It's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. So.
The 24th, yeah, also, it's the third weekend of the
Yeah.
and maybe it'd be a good,
30th.
good year to
Thursday
come.
is the weekend of Thanksgiving.
And I don't know,
Yeah,
I wonder if you
They're
think
more
that, I
concerned
mean,
about Black Friday, not the next day after Thanksgiving.
Chattanooga on Friday night has the boat parade, and they've got hundreds of thousands down by the waterfront. So
Well, I've
I
heard
don't
about
think Thanksgiving
weekends.
weekend's a deal breaker.
Finished, but usable, like sun up.
Well,
Weather. And
Well,
concert.
so the committee will go from there, and identify the different possible routes, dates and times, taking all this into consideration. Move forward.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll start with Mayor.
I don't have anything.
Commissioner Baker.
I meant to say this the other night in the commissioners meeting, and I apologize. I wanted to, commend, I'm very proud of the, police department, fire department, campus we got to go to, and all the Washington DC. It was very, very awesome. I really appreciate it.
Very good.
Yeah, and my husband had great praise to say, and I've been waiting for him to say something for years. So it was very sweet.
Glad you had it.
He enjoyed it very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Vice Mayor.
I have a list here. I did give Eric a heads up, so, you know, these people call
I wish you were in Rhode Island.
You missed your light.
me. So, the people call me, I want to bring it up, and it's a good point. So, one of the questions was the workout equipment. And I understand that a lot of it's falling apart, parts are hard to get, and you don't think we're going to replace that at this point?
Based on how much it's used and the cost of it and the upkeep of it, we're focusing on redoing the wooden portion right now. Once that's done, then we'll look at expanding more.
I'll, see, I didn't keep my heads up.
Same answer I gave you earlier.
It was. Was last night on Tucker where the, train derailed, I asked about, somebody asked about one side of the light's working, one's not. You don't give me a response?
So we're looking into what it costs to replace it now that that road is being dead-ended in the parking lot, whether we want to spend the, $5,000 to $7,000 on flashing lights. It's no longer a through road. So we're looking to see if we want to signalize.
Soccer field. So when we did the soccer field, it was dedicated to soccer. And then I think last meeting, I found out it was,
Was it dedicated to soccer or just wasn't soccer?
Why?
It's not a standard size.
no, it was for, because the community wanted it, Bill Garber led it. And it was, I forgot who even paid the fence around. I thought something did.
What it was is they needed a soccer field, which we teamed up with them. In fact, we had usage as the public could use it, but they used it a lot at the beginning for their soccer team thing and practices, because they didn't have one. But since then, they have built a new facility, right? Is what I understood, that they've got another facility, they don't use that for practice, it's more used for just whoever wants to go out there and play.
That was my understanding.
Yeah, but originally it was for the soccer field that we used for their practices.
I know that other
We were allowed.
groups that go out there and they can go to Southern on Saturday. Out of respect, of course, but, I just was shocked because to me, that's something we should have talked about as a commission. I mean, that's our community versus just doing it.
Yeah. You had a ton of good feedback from people that are utilizing the pump track.
I'm not saying you don't, but sure would be nice for us to find out in here before it happens versus it's out there. I'm just me. I'm one of those.
Well, the thing is, we have people that call us about things, and I say, oh, I'll have to get back with you, that doesn't look good. You know, as being a commissioner, they should be on top. And so we depend on y'all to give us, before we're put in a position that,
I thought I had them, so I looked at.
So are and I have not really looked at it except driving by, is it approved biking,
Yes.
jump?
it's nice, Tim.
Yeah,
Rather
they
than-
are, mobile, pump track pieces on, what you call them. So we put them on the end of the soccer field that didn't appear to have a lot of usage. To try, we've gotten great feedback from the community, that's really enjoying it. We have received some feedback, especially today, when kind of was a registered event plan on the soccer field. Some folks want to go back to soccer. We're currently weighing which usage is greater and what other options exist for putting things in places. It's a situation we're trying to meet multiple needs in the community.
Yeah, because I know at one point, in Eric, this, Commissioner Garber really wanted grass to grow in it, and it was hard because it got so much use. We looked at turf, to put down there because it's such a high use field.
Well, it's capped.
It used to be used more than I see it used
Yeah.
now.
We looked at it and did not see utilization of years past.
So how do you know that? You have a calendar clicking them, or, I'm just curious.
Observationally, it's not as busy as it was 7 years ago when I was walking the green every day.
but
So
no,
it's completely observational.
there was
My
a,
guys play some soccer nets, 2 or 3 times a year, and they go 3 years without playing some soccer nets.
Yeah.
They're just not-
but I like to say too, because, Commissioner Garber was real big, skateboarding and something for the bikers and everything, so we had to do it in the city and all that, so I think splitting it was great, to be honest with you, because utilizing it instead of just being there. And I think it's big enough for somebody that's wanting to practice backwards and forth, they can.
So that was our exact logic. Again, it being an
It's a nice
operational field, that folks that wanted to use it for a pickup game could use half of it. And then folks that wanted to utilize the biking equipment, the training equipment, could. Again, we were trying to thread that needle on serving most members of our community simultaneously.
There was something about, they had to do something to the soil when they.
Yeah, so right before, well, I had just started here as a mechanic. There was a time where Rodney and the guys had a bunch of topsoil down there and tilled it in to try and keep the grass where it could grow. And they spent 3 weeks working on it and it grew for about a year and it
Yeah.
that's
So they don't have
we're
sprinklers?
we're not gonna do this again, we need to look at some better.
How much we spend on that playground, or the bike equipment?
Five,
Yes,
it was less than $6 grand.
$6 grand?
less than.
You know, but-
Yes, through the Parks and Rec.
All right, one last thing I have is, or two things. One is a 7 mile run that's taking place, it's going to go to Greenway.
Yes.
Um,
Which is not a city event. They have a special.
I know, I'm okay with that. So the concern that somebody shared with me is that part of the Greenway that they're going to be running on has not been opened by TDOT. It still is blocked off, and that's the path off. So what are they going to do?
We told them before, a year ago, when we were having this conversation, that the city could not guarantee that that section would be open. And we repeated that time and time again, that we have no control over if and when TDOT opens that section.
It's paid, I mean, it's concreted.
Correct. And all we can do at this point is reach out to Wright Brothers and get a date. But again, we let them know multiple times that we could not guarantee that portion of Greenway.
All right, my last one, I promise.
You reach out to Wright Brothers.
I got a text before the meeting, somebody likes to listen and watch the video. A lot of our videos are missing.
Okay.
I think the first one, it texted me, I think all of it
So are they on YouTube or are they on their website?
on the website.
They're not gonna be. We're only gonna keep a certain window of links, that belongs to our YouTube channel and all.
So 0 for 24, and then all the way back to 12/18. So
Is that all of them?
But not on the YouTube channel.
not on YouTube, but on our city website.
The link to it.
We'll double check it and see.
Yeah, so there's, I'm looking at, well, the screenshot. Like, it's got minutes, and they were missing some minutes.
Yeah, we haven't posted it.
So, and I'm just saying, I'm sharing a concern. So maybe we should put on there some type of message.
We put it disclaimer.
I mean, if we could do it on the agenda, minutes, video, click this link and go to YouTube, I think that would help.
We'll put a disclaimer up with a link directly to just the YouTube channel. And then go through and see which ones are missing.
We want to make it easy for people to watch, so
And see which ones just haven't been posted.
that's all I have.
Mayor?
Okay, understand the airport, Parks and Rec, you are still working on an event. What's the latest on the event?
Yep, so we're applying for the license to show the movie. Excuse me. We are also waiting on the vendors to get back with us to confirm our date. We're shooting for the end of April. We are planning to do the movie night in April.
And we're
That's all I've
doing,
got.
we're doing it on the runway?
It's not gonna be on the runway.
Oh, come on.
That might be fun.
Might be, we could play dodge on the runway.
See, now that'd be a place for right.
The vice mayor here, like, lead the way.
I'll remember that idea for next
Right at
week.
the airport. No traffic, just runaway.
Anything else in the commission?
That's all I've got.
Jason? Chief? Here? Right.
Airport Advisory Board meeting tomorrow. Hope to see everybody there.
I've got this.
Conversation.
What's that?
I got this for you.
Very good. 4 o'clock upstairs meeting room there at the airport.
Christine?
Nothing tonight.
Don't forget TML is Monday and Tuesday of next week, so we'll have a commission meeting. And we have to talk on Monday evening and just out the details for those who are.
So this. It won't matter. Yeah.
They did change.
I'll wear this. Right.
My understanding, the next commission meeting is the first meeting of
No, it would be the 18th, because
March. Okay, yeah.
we do not have a forum.
Wait.
Or we don't have one.
So we the 18th.
So I'll bring the track loader to the commission on the 8th.
Correct. Correct. Good. Well, that is it. You're adjourned.